Those of you who have looked at the PAT guideline are really very familiar with the fact that there are a number of tools that are advocated in terms of addressing improvement in product quality, efficiency, and manufacturing. Two of the tools that are addressed are use of analyzers and also use of multivariate analytics in terms of ways of improving your understanding of the process, and also a way of improving control of the process. If you don't have an online measurement, then the use of data analytics can be really a bridge between product quality and control, a bridge that doesn't exist today. Oftentimes you may find at the end of the batch that this is the product quality. You really wish you had known that halfway through the batch because you had a contamination and you've really got to dump the batch. So having this bridge is a wonderful thing. There are some challenges in terms of implementing data analytics online. Specifically, we're using a batch type of application. The tailoring of the batch and the modeling that goes on as the batch progresses, as you're using different inputs and outputs throughout the batch. To do that effectively becomes a little bit of a technical challenge with a lot of the commercial products today. So about 3 years ago or a little longer, we initiated some work within Emerson in terms of looking at can we provide a better way of integrating in data analytics into Delta V to overcome just the barrier of doing that easily in a batch application and to have it totally integrated. Those of you who have sort of attended Emerson Exchange over the last 3 years, we've tried to sort of keep you updated in terms of progress in that area. And we're now at a point where in version 12 you'll have data analytics integrated into Delta V as just a feature of Delta V. So it's a new tool that we hope will be very helpful. The concepts behind data analytics are fairly straightforward of those who maybe haven't looked at that technology. Basically, you're just looking at your things you can measure on the process, that is the flows, the pressures, the temperatures, pH, anything that can be measured online. And then based upon those online measurements and the actual analysis of the final product, you're then developing an analytic process model. That model then is used online with your real-time data to predict faults in the process as well as to predict the quality parameters of your production. So through these tools you really have a new handle on what's going on in the process. Even though you don't have that continuous online measurement, you have this prediction of what it's going to be. One of the challenges in terms of providing this kind of technology in an operating environment like manufacturing is how is the operator going to interpret this, how does he use it? And we've spent a lot of effort in terms of looking at that, and we've really gotten it down to a three-step type of process. Basically, where you're running multiple products, you can have an overview where if a fault is detected that may impact you in terms of the production and the final quality, that becomes highlighted. The operator can then vector down to a view of looking at where did my fault occur, and then immediately get an indication of the parameters that are impacting the operation that are not normal at that point. And just as an example, let's take a bioreactor. You may have well instrumented, but you may have, say, a fault in one of your measurements. In this case, I took a pH as the fault that occurs. You know, you can have a fault that occurs and it's not really detected because it's not a hard failure. It's maybe a drift of a measurement. And yet it can have a very dramatic impact on the process. With data analytics, where you have trained the process model based upon many batches, then you can detect a deviation from normal operation and make that visible to the operator. If the operator then selects the area, that is where the statistical parameters, there are two statistics that are used, the explained and unexplained. It's the t-squared and q statistic. You can just click on that, then get an immediate indication of these are the parameters that are contributing to this fault at this point in time. By just looking at one of those, by the operator selecting it, he then gets information that he really doesn't have in his system today. He has a historian showing trends of what's going on, but this shows not only the trend of what is happening right now, but what is the normal trajectory of that parameter over the batch, and what is the normal range of variation of that parameter. So this gives the operator just a real handle on what's going on. He can now say, I've got a problem with my pH. Now in this case, if pH was deviating, this was a slow drift, he may not even see it because it's on closed loop control. So you'll now be adjusting the process automatically based upon a false pH indication, and he may not even detect that for a day or two. So with this then, with that analytics though, you're looking at more than just one parameter. You're looking at everything and looking at, is it on its normal trajectory? In this case, on the pH, if we have a drift in the pH, then our reagent that we're using to maintain this false pH then is actually different than what is normally required. So given these two pieces of information, an operator would immediately know he's got a problem with his pH, and in this case maybe could correct it or at least stop the batch at that point if he's had a major problem. This technology we feel is something that is going to help the industry. It's a small step, like I think Klaus was saying. You know, we have small steps. This is one that can be done within the system, can provide integration so that when you develop models, those models are saved in a way that if someone says you're using this information and running your batch, you can prove that the batch model is something that is part of the system. If you want to know more about this, we have a presentation this week, sort of an update in terms of the field trial installation at Lubrizol. So if you're interested in this, this is one of the workshops you can attend. Also in the exhibit area under the Advanced Control banner, if you want to see a live demonstration of this, that's also there. Where we have online measurements, we can